Nation. So for this session, the session is Samadhi in Practice and Scripture, a comparative study of traditional and contemporary approaches. And to chair this session, we have the Most Venerable Thich Quang Ba. Venerable Thich Quang Ba, can you please come to the podium? Come to the stage, please. So next, I would like to invite Venerable Professor Lenagala Srinivasa Thero, Head of the Sanskrit Department, Buddhist and Pali University of Sri Lanka. Next, we have our Venerable Geshe-ma Tenzin Lhajun, Sangha member and of the Indian Himalayan Council for Nalanda Buddhist Tradition, Ladakh. Venerable Tenzin Lhajun. Next speaker is Venerable Pramahana Kunpun Klai Suvan Samachito, Vipassana instructor for the Sangha, Ayutthaya Province and the Vipassana Institute at Mahachula Buddhist University, Thailand. Venerable Pramaha Kunpun. Next, we have Venerable Professor Dr. Chantamukha, International Professor of International Theravada Buddhist Missionary University, Yangon. And today's chair is Professor Venerable Lenagala Srinivasa Thero. Professor Thero completed his PhD in the Advaita Vedanta and Buddhist epistemology on indeterminate and determinate perception in 2009 at the Banaras Hindu University. He is an eminent author of many books such as Atharva Veda, translation into Sinhala, General Problem of Indian Epistemology, Nakshatra Diplamala, Sinhala translation, and critical study on Jan Kiharana and so on. He was also the former Dean of the Faculty of Language Studies at Buddhist and Pali University of Sri Lanka. His present position is HOD, Department of Sanskrit at BPU. Professor Venerable Lenagala Srinivasa, please chair this session. Oh, and then, sorry. As a guest of honor, we have Most Venerable Kyabje Kundiling Rinpoche. I think Venerable Venerable Thich Quang Ba, I think you can start. Most Venerable Thich Quang Ba, it's your time.
Sangha and other delegates still arriving from coffee times, I will be waiting for another few seconds before I start. Right. Thank you very much for that. Dear Mahasangha in the audience and all other delegates, we understand that this session had been reduced for half an hour. We had until the closure of the session for less than an hour, and then we have to be quick and sorry, all the speakers, we have to cut off your time due to the strength of the time limitation for lunch for other Sangha and so on. Now, I am Thich Kwan Ba from Australia, and this is my great honor to be invited for chairing this session. It is my opinion that the organization had very cleverly set out for whole day today for discussion on three key important of Buddhist practices. Yes, the session prior to this one had already discussed several matters surrounding Vinaya, and this session, all the wonderful and respectful speaker will discuss the Samadhi, and then next session in the afternoon will be a discussion on Panya, which is three important and compulsory practices if any like to follow the Buddha path and achieve liberation and Nibbana. To cut short to my note from 10 to 5 minutes myself, I just like to, of course, to go through the very brief meaning of today this session number 8. The topic is Samadhi in Practice and Scriptures, a comparative study of traditional and comparative contemporary approaches. This is quite ambitious topic. For paper, we'll speak surrounding the topic of how people can put Samadhi in practice, and also how it comes out from scriptures. Scriptures.
Sorry to interrupt. 1 moment, please. We have the guest of honor, Kyabje Kundiling Rinpoche.
Yes, please.
Please proceed.
Welcome the guest of honor. Yeah. This is very senior and very holy Rinpoche. Welcome, Rinpoche. You are our guest of honor today. We see it honor again. This is His Holiness the 13th Kundalin Tasak Rinpoche. We had met several times in Delhi and here. Welcome and thank you for be our guest of honor today. The subject for this session is discussion around the subject of Samadhi in practice, and from the sources, I guess, from various scriptures, Pali, Sanskrit, maybe others. And this is the comparative study of how the Samadhi had been in the past, in the traditional practices, and also in the contemporary approaches. Samadhi had been created by many forms, particularly in the last century. From different nationality, we've seen very popular meditation park or meditation forest or meditation school in Myanmar, in Thailand, and all other countries, I guess. And of course, after Vinaya, the next important step for us amongst the laity, we all have to go through a process of purifying our mind and making our mentality become clear, pure, and calm and serenity. That the very brief meaning of samadhi. And it is not my expertise view, but at least I got the duty to introduce our speakers. And very first speaker today is Venerable Professor Lenagala Srinivasa Thero. The professor is a professional university professor in Delhi, getting the degree from University of Delhi and become lately he's the Dean of Faculty of Language Study and Buddhist Bali University in Sri Lanka. His present position, he is head of the Department of Sanskrit in Buddhist and Bali University in Sri Lanka. Venerable Sir, that's your time.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. E bhagyavattu arahattu samma sambuddharajanan vahanseta mage namaskara veva. Homage to the Buddha, the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened One. Most Venerable Chairperson and other Venerable Sirs, dear Dhamma friends, today I'm so lucky to be here to deliver a presentation. When I was studying in India, I had such kind of thoughts to gather all the Buddhist sectors to the Bodh Gaya. So that idea was succeeded after seeing this moment. Today, I would like to wish the healthy and long life to His Holiness Dalai Lama. Thanking to all the organizers, I would like to start my presentation. My topic is the practice of mindfulness and meditation for mental health. Benefits of meditations. Meditations have been found to bring far-reaching benefits to those who practice them regularly. If you are new to meditation, you should expect a few benefits with even your first meditations. These benefits can include slowed heart rate, release of physical tension, a sense of having a break from stress for a few minutes, a calmer mood afterward. Today we are talking about the samadhi in this session. So before attaining samadhi, we have to develop our positive thoughts. And also, while we are developing positive thoughts, we can develop the positive brain waves. If we live in this society with various kinds of problems, we are always developing the negative thoughts. Those negative thoughts and waves are producing bad effects to oneself and others. These bad thoughts and also waves are very effective to the others, even to the environment. The environment also get various kinds of bad effects because of the negative thoughts. That is why we have to practice meditation. With meditations, however, the benefits build over time. After regular meditations, you will likely see more long-term benefits such as less reactivity towards stress, lower blood pressure, greater mental and emotional clarity, better decision making, greater resilience to stress, physical good health. see the picture of brain. I think the slides are not moving. Please show them to our audience. When we think about our brain, it's a very huge storage of the data. We are using very limited area of our brain. Here you can see the parts of the brain as you have learned and studied in your student life. These sections are very important to us for day-to-day lives. Especially you have to turn the occipital lobe and front lobe is this brain. I am going to give some explanations about this occipital lobe. When we practice meditation, it is changing into super level. Here we can see the electrons in the brain. They are working every moment. See theta state, the lights are there in the brain. Actually, they are named as electromagnetic factors. See this figure, anatomy of the mind. Meditation gives you access to your mind's most powerful layers. In our mind, there are three sections: conscious mind, subconscious mind, unconscious mind. While we are naming them, I would like to give you another very important point. At the downside of the names, we can see beta brain waves, alpha and theta brain waves, and delta brain waves. Here, the gamma brain waves are removed because in early studies, the scientists couldn't find the gamma waves. After a few years, they found that very powerful gamma wave. When we meditate, these conscious mind, subconscious mind, unconscious mind is going to be changed with the waves, brain waves. Meditation, scientific view. Meditation is described in psychophysiological terminology as a wakeful hypometabolic state characterized by reduction in oxygen consumption, carbon dioxide elimination, and the rate and volume of respiration. A slight increase in the acidity of arterial blood, a marked decrease in the blood lactate level, a slowing of the heartbeat, a considerable increase in skin resistance, and an electroencephalogram pattern of intensification of slow alpha waves with occasional theta wave activity. It may be surmised that the metabolism during normal waking hours is probably maintained at the lowest possible healthy level in the case of the Arahant, as his body is not subject to undue wear and tear brought about by emotional excitement. The positive defined sublime emotions or the divine modes of conduct named as Brahma Vihara, such as Metta, Karuna, Mudita, and Upekha, not to speak of the higher cognitive state, must necessarily find expression in body chemistry to produce a healthy constitution and a calm, unruffled, serene personality filled with peace, contentment, and the joy of enlightenment. Sambodhisukha, when we meditate, we can experience the happiness, peacefulness, and the calm condition in our mind and in our life. There's a Sri Lankan research. With the permission of the research group, I am submitting it to this audience. Method, they have used a method as electroencephalograph, EEG measurements. Findings. Alpha rhythm is an EEG correlate for a state of relaxed wakefulness best obtained with eyes closed, generally with higher voltage over occipital region. Meditation practices have gained increasing attention as a non-pharmacological intervention for mind relaxation. When they completed their research, they found while we are meditating, some electrical waves are increasing the frontal globe of the brain. It means occipital area. General research group is Kumari KG, Ranatunga L, Jayasingha JMPP, Edriman CL, Vimalasiri LSM, Srikant S, the Silva KRD. Genetic Diagnostic and Research Laboratory, Faculty of Medical Science, University of Sri Jayawardenapura, Sri Lanka. They organized this research. Department of Information Technology, Faculty of Information Technology, University of Moratuwa, Sri Lanka. They are supported. Lanka Hospitals, Sri Lanka. They have used the facilities in Lanka Hospital. So, meditators with long-term, more than 5 years experience in several meditation techniques participated in the study. EEG was recorded for 15 minutes in 2 phases, prior and during meditation using the technique. Tranquil Wisdom Insight Meditation, in short form TWIM, with eyes closed. Fast Fourier transformed EEG signals of frontal region in 6 meditators and of occipital region in 5 meditators were extracted considering the clearness of signals. Results. Average percentage energy variations were contributed by frontal delta, 50% decrement, theta 10%, alpha 33%, beta 5%, gamma 1%. Increments. Occipital gamma 30.9% decrement, theta 3.7, alpha 20.3, beta 3.3, delta 3.5 increments. Here we can see increments. So here is the some figure. You can see before meditation the activity of brain waves. In this picture, before meditation, we can see delta waves are very high, and also theta waves are a little bit high. Before meditation, this result can be seen. During meditation, you can see the alpha waves are increasing. Theta and delta waves are coming down. Alpha waves are increasing high. It is a very important finding. Conclusion of Sri Lankan research. Frontal and occipital alpha power increment may suggest a mind relaxation effect. A signal analysis from other brain regions need to be performed for confirmation. They did this research only connected to the frontal lobe. While we are meditating, all the parts of the brain are working very well. It is producing the positive energy to the body. As you have studied, 5 kinds of brain waves are there: gamma, beta, alpha, theta, and delta. These waves are well balanced while we are meditating. Gamma waves are more important. The frequency range is 40 to 100 hertz. If the gamma waves are not balanced, the mental diseases such as anxiety, high arousal and stress is coming up. If it is too little, ADHD, attention deficit, hyperactivity disorder, depression, learning disabilities. If we control them, binding senses, cognition, information processing, learning, perception, REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep. Sometimes you also may have such kind of sleep. The eye movements are happening while you are sleeping. How to control the gamma waves? Through the meditation. If we do meditation, these gamma waves are well controlled, well balanced. So in this manner, all the waves are having same position. When we meditate, beta waves, alpha waves, theta waves, delta waves are well controlled. As a result of controlling those brain waves, we can produce very powerful energy. It can be used oneself and it can be used for the other benefits. One person who has developed his waves in a proper manner, he can use his energy, mental energy, brain waves, to cure the sick people also. Nowadays, we are hearing it in the world. They are using their powerful mental energy to cure the sick people. So it is true. We can do, even you can do it. Concluding my presentation, I would like to inform you, as much as possible, you try to meditate and develop positive energies in your body and use it to benefit of yourself and for the benefit of other persons. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor, for your wonderful papers. Our next speakers will be, in my concept, is very special. She's only one of the 2 female speakers of this conference, and also especially because of she is a Geshe-ma. I have been told that in the past near 20 years, Tibetan Buddhism had been able to train 53 Geshe-ma like her, and she now not only just specialize on her field as specialize on Tibetan Buddhism, Tibetan meditation, but also as a member of Indian National Sangha Council and also a member of Indian Himalayan Council of Nalanda Buddhist Tradition Head Office. And congratulations on all of your work, Geshe-ma. Please start your paper.
Ramjam Sura Kuna Tawemi, Kazan Taban Dugan Jungo, Zeweke Tabkin Zebai, Sensation and Lokicha Seji. Pegin at Sikashi, with your permission, I would like to just say a few words in Tibetan. And that need Kabajin, Nature Dajidela. Yang orang bercakap unji nang bertanda zaman keji, kentu be, linde ting tu ya cik, ya lanjut sekarang cuci ke kau kau berarti be mesti kau cuma, saya ke me, cikai kau kasihna, kan, kau je nampak, kau nampak, kau cingin nampak dengar cuci, orang ini yang tak, kesan tangbo ni kundi sojung keji, keji sekarang sana sini, sesundi tangbo, kan cuci nas samsung ini ya, labasum juga lah cuci yang kalau bertanda cuci deh, labasum juga lah res ini. Kamu jenas ra, tak ni kepa cenjiri, baca saya dah, susu cik mau bela yang cik, tak kau cuba re, mau bela cili cuba kau sunar re, jawab cambang itu cembe kau lah cik, susu le cinggi lah betul ni baca saya sikit sambil ngilang susah betul ni. So I'm just homage to the Mahasangha who gathered here, International Mahasangha. And in the land of enlightenment, Buddha enlightenment, and I would just take a refuge, the triple gym. I confess the negative individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. So in the last 2 days and today's morning, where the distinguished speakers and scholars, practitioners have presented their wonderful presentation related with the Buddha Dharma. And the theme of this gathering, where you said bridging tradition and embracing diversity, or embracing diversity, right? So I think this is really historical gathering. And when I was listening to the Venerable from Sri Lanka, it took me some kind of, it brought me some vivid memory. My visit in Sri Lanka 24 years ago. And Sri Lanka is a beautiful island where the Buddha blessed many, many times. And we got the precious opportunity to visit the highest mountain, where you call it Shripade, where Buddha flew. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So why I'm saying here, why I'm saying that Sri Lanka is a blessed land, and this morning we were talking about the Vinayas, the Theravada, and the Mahayana, and then my topic is actually Samadhi in scripture and practice. So if we want to practice the Shil and Gyan, Samadhi is most important thing, that's my belief. I'm not a Samadhi practitioner, but I have very strong kind of strong respect in the, the three training, in the three higher training. So I have listed up here what the Buddha says. I mean, here I believe that, the representative gather here, like the three yana holders, like Sarvaka yana, Pratika Buddha yana, and Bodhisattva yana. And maybe most of you are maybe all three in one. I mean, to practice all of them. Lama Tsongkhapa says in Tibetan, but I don't have the translation. This is the prayer that Lama Tsongkhapa has done. So, there was some kind of statement coming up, the Tibetan Buddhism or the Sanskrit tradition, and then the Theravada tradition, dogmatism. I personally disagree with that. It is very scientific, as the Buddha was presented. And the Buddha have actually said here, do not commit any evils, practice supreme virtue, thoroughly tame your mind. This is the teaching of the Buddha. So Buddha's teaching is about this. Commit no any evils. So identify the evils and then not commit it. And practice the supreme virtues. So supreme virtue, where you have different levels of the virtues that we can practice, and thoroughly tame your mind. So the practice, what does this practice mean? Tame our mind. Tame our mind from like wrongdoing to the right doing. So can you show me the next slide, please? Okay, here. And the lineage of our tradition means, I mean all of us. And 8th century's Nalanda master, Bodhisattva Shantideva, and the text is very, very practical teachings that anybody can listen, reflect, and meditate without any discrimination, without any caste, tradition, or beyond boundary, I think. And where he says, those who wish to guard their practice should very attentively guard their minds. For those who did not guard their minds will be unable to guard their practice. In this world, subdued and crazy elephants are incapable of causing such harms as the miseries of the deepest hell, which can be caused by the unleashed elephant of my mind. But if the elephant of my mind is firmly bound on all sides by the rope of mindfulness, all fears will be ceased to exist and all virtue will come into my hand. So this is our teachings. So it's a teaching of the Buddhas and the Nalanda masters. So, how do you really, tame our mind? So Bodhisattva Shantideva have articulately put in like 10 chapters, and each chapters have different contents. So I'll just read through because to plant seed for myself. So one day I will be able to realize what does this precious teaching means. Next slide, please. And then again here, His Holiness, the embodiment of compassion Buddha. And I would like to just recite this mantra with the chairperson permission. Mingmet sewe terjin chenri zik time kembe wangbon jambe yang dibo malin jumje sanwe da kanjin kebe sugen songkha balo santabe chala sowante. So where you have the living Buddha, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the distinguished abbots gather here, and I really believe you are all practitioners of these three qualities. The mantra meaning of the mantra, you are Alokiteshvara, great treasure of non-reflection compassion, and Manjur Sharif, master of flawless wisdom, as well as the Vajrapani, destroyer of herds of demons without exception. Tsongkhapa, crown jewels of the sage of the land of snow. Losang Tapa, at your feet, my pilgrimage. So I'm very, very, blessed with the teaching of the Lama Tsongkhapa. So that's why I want to say this word. And then I want to recite again the 6th, 8th centuries Bodhisattvas, Shantidevas, about the meditative concentration. This is the identification of the meditative concentration. And having developed enthusiasm in this way, I should place my mind in concentration for the person whose mind is distracted, dwells between the fangs of disturbing conception. However, through solitude of body and mind, the distraction will occur. Therefore, I should forsake the worldly life and completely discard distorted conception. Worldly life is not forsaken because of attachment to people and due to craving for material gain and the like. Therefore, I shall entirely forsake these things, for this is the way in which the wise behave. Having understood that disturbing conceptions are completely overcome by spirit insight endowed with calm abiding, first of all, I should search for calm abiding. This is achieved through the genuine joy of those unattached to worldly life. And what does it mean about meditation, concentration, or samadhi? This is what it really means. So, next slide, please. So here, I recited earlier, but because there's a reason for me to recite this. Can you see this picture? Which maybe there are some people who is not familiar. Who is he? It's Lama Tsongkhapa. It's the Buddha of compassion, Buddha of wisdom, and Buddhas of power, who has the complete three perfect powers. And he have mentioned in his text, it's called the Song of Stage of the Path to Enlightenment. So enlightenment can have different understanding with the context of the different texts, but it's in a way, it's loose and we are the same, whether Theravada or Mahayana or Vajrayana. So we are directed in the same direction. And meditative concentration is the sovereign that rules the mind. When stabilized, it stands unwavering, like the king of mountains. When directed, it engages in all virtuous objects, giving rise to the great bliss that make the body and mind pliant. Realizing this and always restoring to meditative concentration, great yogis dispel the enemy of mental wandering. The Venerable Guru practiced in this manner. I, the seeker of liberation, will do likewise. Wisdom is the eye to see the profound reality, the means to pull out samsara's root, the treasure of excellent praise in the scripture, the supreme lamp that dispels the darkness of ignorance. Realizing this, the wise, seeking freedom, strive to generate it. The Venerable Guru practiced in this manner. I, the seeker of liberation, will do likewise. So these are the experiential song by Lama Tsongkhapa. So who have experienced what does compassion, altruism mean? What does wisdom mean? So when it comes to the wisdom and the three yanas, I believe the three yanas, Sarvaka yana, Patika Buddha yana, or the Bodhisattva yana or Vajrayana, think it's the same, but I have to explore furthermore. When you say wisdom, wisdom means, and it's a realizing reality as it is. But for that, we need to do a lot of critical thinking and analytical meditation. When you come to samadhi, samadhi means meditation. When you have the meditation, 2 meditations are there. And the samadhi meditation, which is a single-pointed meditation, that we have to follow certain steps to, inward, to settle our mind inwardly. And then at the same time, we have to analyze the thing and what kind of emotion arising in our mind, and how can you really overcome this, some of this disturbing mind, and making some very critical analyzing, and we can discard the wrong thinking and then develop the positive thinking. So maybe next slide. And another Tibetan yogi, you see that his name is Gyatso Timi is the embodiment of compassion, all our Buddhas, who have said, special insight perfectly endowed with shamatha, complete conquer all affliction, knowing this and cultivating meditative concentration that transcend the 4 formless states is the practice of a bodhisattva. So what does it mean here, 4 formless states? Maybe next slide. Okay, here. I said it's a traditional Tibetan Buddhism or the Sanskrit tradition. I believe when you're saying Sanskrit tradition or the Pali tradition, in the Buddha's teaching that we find in Pali language and the Sanskrit language. So they must have, maybe if you go to like a very technicality, there are some in a different interpretation or different explanation maybe there, but the essence has to be the same. It's a Buddhayana. So I have just a listed of the, maybe I'll just explain a little bit about this depiction. What does it mean here? Where you have the 6 curves, and then we have the elephant, and then the meditator or the monks. So it's a monastic. It doesn't mean the meditation can be done only monk, but there are many lay people who meditated. So this house, which is a 3-star house, it's a representation of the 3 realms: desire realms, form realms, and formless realms. Through meditation of the mind, calm abiding and vipassana, you can go beyond. So that's how you have to meditate. And maybe next slide, please. Okay, here I would like to just conclude with this. And I have shown this picture over here at the next, and the text you can read, where you have this ruined wall of Nalanda. And then we have a group of pictures down there. And I had the great fortune to visit in November with the wonderful people coming from all over the world who are doing bodhicitta retreat here in Bodh Gaya, and we had great, precious time to visit or go for pilgrimage on the site. And why I'm showing the rune picture on the above, and then the group of the pictures up there. So Nalanda tradition is so rich tradition, but in present in India, it's. There are people who are really putting a lot of effort to, restore. And His Holiness the Dalai Lama have put many effort and, reviving ancient Indian wisdom. So I believe that reviving ancient wisdom, the Nalanda tradition should be revived in India. Of course, it's a survive in Tibet and different parts of the world, but then if it is losing in its own birth, maybe it's a little sad. So, when you go to visit Nalanda, you get that mixed feeling. On one side, one side of the mind come like, I feel so fortunate to have the opportunity to visit Nalanda, and heard just the name of the Nalanda is so precious. How many sentient beings in this world now, and then beyond, about almost like 8 billion. And very few people have heard about Nalanda. So we are so fortunate, and personally I feel so blessed among here. And so I will just conclude with this last chapter. And Bodhisattva Shantideva have put into the 10th chapter where it says, monks May monks desire to practice find quiet and solitary place, and through having abandoned all wandering thoughts, may they meditate with flexible mind. The text has mentioned monk, but I personally will take nuns or lay people or whoever aspire with the Bodhisattvas and Shantideva's teaching. Take it as our personal, like a advice and use that. I don't mean monks. So this is what I really mean. Okay, so I will conclude my short talk with this praise into long life for His Holiness the Dalai Lama and all the lineage holder of Buddha Dharma. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here, and thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Geshama, for your wonderful paper. The title of her paper is Key Point of Practice to Achieve Samadhi in Traditional Tibet Buddhism. Of course, the time is short, but he has effortlessly the cover of her paper with very key points from several past masters, including Tsongkhapa and, of course, Santideva, a really well-known Bodhisattva in the past. Now, our next speaker, I'd like to invite Venerable Phrat Mahakupon Klai Suwan, Samadhito. He's a Vipassana instructor for the Sangha at Ayutthaya province, and also he also contributes to Vipassana practices at the Institute at Mahajula Buddhist University in Thailand. And the title of his paper today is Discussion on the Relationship between Samatha and Vipassana and how these practices are intertwined in the pursuit of Samadhi. Welcome, Phrat Maha. Please proceed your paper.
ขอโอกาสพระเถระนะครับ Greetings and reverential salutation to all Mahasangha, and good morning to ladies and gentlemen. Tachidale Geshe-la. Am I wrong? Tachidale, right? Yeah. Hey, you can clap. Okay. Oh, wow. Today's topic is Samatha and Vipassana, which are practices I'm sure many of you here are fairly familiar with and have already been practicing regularly. However, I will speak from the perspective of Theravada Buddhism and use practices in Thailand as examples to demonstrate and share these methods with you all. In general, by definition, samatha means calmness or tranquility, and vipassana means insight, seeing or phenomena as a matter of fact or seeing them as they are. Samatha, as we have known, would involve the use of conventional things or appointed devices to attain tranquility. And vipassana uses the absolute truth, which is to specify various phenomena according to reality. Whether it is samatha or vipassana, both are similarly often refers to as meditation. Actually, meditation is about the working of the mind. The purpose of samatha is concentration or samadhi. The next slide. As for vipassana, the purpose is the panya or wisdom. The next slide. Like this. Okay. And okay, how are samatha and vipassana related? In Theravada Buddhism, next slide. In Theravada Buddhism, there is a stanza or kata or the words of the Buddha. Say the next slide. Next. Next. Okay, this. Yeah, nati chanang apanyasa panya nati achayino yamhi chananja panyaja sawe santike sawe nibbana santike, which means when there is no wisdom, there is no jhana. When there is no jhana, there is no wisdom. Whoever has both jhana and wisdom, that person is considered to be close to Nibbana. I would like to explain a little bit about the meaning of this stanza first. Wisdom here means wisdom that composed of diligence, which gives rise to jhana. And jhana refers to concentration that causes wisdom. This verse is also consistent with another saying of the Buddha, which is, next slide. Samahito bhikkhave bhikkhu yatha bhutang pachanati passati, which means monk with a steady mind will know and see the truth. The above statement shows the strong relationship between samatha and vipassana. It seems that the two must be inseparably interrelated and must coexist. It also still seems that these two work together in the sense that each side does their own thing in supporting and assisting one another with the aim to free the practitioner's mind from all impurity. And when we look back at the practice of samatha in the days before the Buddha's enlightenment, it can be seen that the characteristics do not quite respond with this said stanza. In the Sallekha Sutra, the Buddha has clearly stated that this type of samatha does not belong only to Buddhism. The purpose of doing this is only to make the mind ekaggata or one-pointed. It only means making yourself comfortable in the present. It does not lead to wisdom. However, even though this type of samatha is not the aim of Buddhism and does not share characteristics with wisdom, it can serve as the foundation for vipassana. Okay, next. Okay, next. Okay. And what are samatha and vipassana that follow the stanza like? Samatha and vipassana, when come together, have their own specific duties or functions. They are usually define samatha. We usually define samatha as tranquility that is characterized by passive action. But when it comes to samatha in Buddhism, it is active action. That is focusing on Okay. Focusing on performing one's duties. The duties of samatha in this case is going in to suppress the cloudiness that arises from defilements in order to give vipassana an opportunity to perform its duties thereafter. In approaches to practicing samatha and vipassana, which appear in Patisambhita Magga, 4 types of practices are discussed. They can be separated into 2 main topics which demonstrate the relationship between the two in the interesting way. And the left side, the 1 and the 2. Okay. In the Pali word, samatha puppang kamang vipassanang bhavayati, tassa samatha puppang kamang vipassanang bhavayato makko sanchayati. A monk develops vipassana preceded by samatha, while he develops vipassana preceded by samatha. The path arises in him, and vipassana puppang kamang samathang bhavayati, tassa vipassana puppang kamang samathang bhavayato makko sanchayati. A monk develops samatha preceded by vipassana, while he develops samatha preceded by vipassana. The path arises in him. Another important word here is makko sanchayati. The word means that in order to attain nibbana, the path must first be brought into existence. The path here is the Noble Eightfold Path. It can be seen that if samatha and vipassana do not come together, then the path definitely has not yet arisen. I will demonstrate by use the practices in Thailand, especially Mahajula Buddhist University, as example. In number one, samatha pupankamang vipassanang bhaveti is a practice of vipassana. It means that the practitioner intends to do vipassana, but samatha gets there first. In vipassana practice, what requires is wisdom or clear perception of reality. But to be able to see that, it is necessary to have a clean mind. So what should be done to cleanse the mind to the point where one is able to see clearly? The answer is samatha. As mentioned earlier, the duty of samatha is to suppress restraint. Therefore, while we do vipassana, at that time our minds are not yet clean. There are still asava or mental intoxication that keeps popping up. When that happens, one cannot continue to vipassana meditation. We need a clean mental space. We want to return to the original mind that is free from kilesa or desires. Samatha will help here by increasing the space of cleanliness in the mind and making vipassana possible. However, samatha and vipassana are not separated from each other. We do not practice them separately at different times, but these two go together. Let me give you an example. Let's say everyone is listening to me, right? Okay. Then you become irritated for some reason. It could be because I maybe speak too quickly, not to the point, not being interested. Okay, but let's say that there is a condition arising in the mind, an irritability. The fact that this irritation arises is an indication that the asava or mental intoxication has already arisen, or that the cloudiness has arisen. When that happens, it means that at that time there is no concentration, there is no samadhi. So what must be done next? The answer is that you have to remove or get rid of the defilements. The way is to specify the condition is matched the symptom that occurs. In this case, specify it as frustrating closely and to the current. As you continue to specify definitely, the irritation will gradually weaken. This safe process is the work of samatha during vipassana. When following these steps, you can see that samatha has arisen since the beginning. And because of the continuity in specifying, it leads to appana samadhi. The mind will become pure, thus leading to the path of nibbana. This is practicing vipassana with samadhi first. And next is vipassana pupankamang samatang bhaveti. Back slide. Yeah. Which is where a practitioner intends to practice samatha, but vipassana arrives first. This means that the practitioner does not intend to specify the condition as they are for vipassana in the first place. It is merely to specification to prevent certain emotions from coming in. Those who practice will keep preventing defilements from entering. Events from the past will come in and will be prevented. Future matters will come in and will be prevented. The prevention here is an intention or specification or suppress all the time being only. Whenever defilements arises, the practitioner will continue to specify knowing, with the aim of just suppressing them at that moment. This is not yet oriented in a way to perceive reality. And as one keeps doing this, concentration begins to arise. At that moment, the knowledge of impermanent or the lack of permanent arises. Both dukkha and anatta also arise. When that happens, Bodhipakya Dhamma or Dhamma Vicaya, Dhamma selection, Yoniso Manasikara also arise. When this happens, okay, it means that vipassana has occurred. And when the mind sees or the processes that occur, and as according to the stage or seeing the three marks of existence or three characteristics, this is where the work of vipassana arises. From what has been stated, it can be seen that samatha and vipassana in Buddhism are active action systems, not passive actions. The next slide. Okay, actually, in our commentary or Atthakatha, jhana is divided into two types, Aramanupanijjhana and Lakhanupanijjhana. Aramanupanijjhana is object scrutinizing jhana, means focusing your emotions by means of samatha. And Lakhanupanijjhana is characteristic, examining jhana. This means contemplating and seeing the three marks of existence according to vipassana. And this is the jhana of samatha and vipassana that work together in active action. With respect to all that has been discussed, it is evident that samatha and vipassana is fulfill specific duties. Because samatha and vipassana have different duties, they can harmoniously collaborate in the mutually supportive relationship to help the practitioner's mind attain to necessary mental quality and foster the emergence of wisdom that are essential for liberation from asava kilesha or mental defilements. As for samatha based on Aramanupanijjhana, it can be practiced separately from vipassana, while it may not aim for permanent elimination of defilement. It can serve as a foundational practice for vipassana to aid in removing defilements in a similar manner. However, it must be undertaken on the basis of accurate understanding. Okay, thank you for your listening. ขอบคุณครับ
Thank you very much, Venerable Mahakumpon Klai Suvan, for your insightful paper. Our next and last speaker for this morning session is Venerable Professor Dr. Kandamukha. He born in Yangon, 1974, and ordained in his 20 years old. And he had obtained a wonderful degree of Sasana Racha Dhammacharya and Vinaya Vidu in the late 1990. And also he obtained a PhD degree in Buddha Dharma at the International Theravada Buddhist Missionaries University, Yangon, where he now a professor. Thank you, Venerable. Now your time.
Good morning, everyone. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So first of all, I would like to express my thanks to the organizing committee of the ISF, because it gives us an opportunity to meet together and also to have a kind of dialogue between two traditions or two or three or more traditions of the Buddhism. So we get to know each other. This is a very good opportunity, and also we share our understanding of the text. So even though we are in we are different in terms of a color or the wearing or appearance and so on. But we are the same in the ultimate sense as the dukkha beings. Okay? We are being of a dukkha. So our physical and mental body is made up of the dukkha. Everything is constantly changing all the time, every minute and second and so on. So we share the same nature of the dukkha, regardless of the age during the Buddha's time or even before the appearance of the Buddha, or now even in this modern age. We remain the same as the dukkha beings. So what makes a difference is a view. So the way we see things is different. In this way, we had a different view. We had a different view, and then we have a different attitude. So because of these different attitudes, different views, we have a different actions. So mostly in the Kajjana Gotta Sutta, the Buddha explained. So one slide is, this is a short, maybe PowerPoint. So it is playing, so I will keep on talking. So please enjoy this clip as well. It is talking about how the Buddha appeared in the world. So before the appearance of the Buddha, there is, you may see, the world is in the complete darkness. Because we have a different ideas, a different view, we fight one another. We are making more and more problems in the world. So that's why the Buddha is an embodiment of the compassion and wisdom. So then the Buddha appeared in the world after 6 years long practice. Then, so he make the world a better place to live in, and also he make the people, the beings, to be more ethical and also to be more intelligent. So in this way, the Buddha appear in the world, and also as we constantly hear that Bahujana Hidaya, Bahujana Sukhaya. So for the welfare and well-being of the all sentient beings, the Buddha appear in the world. But what did the Buddha do for us is not the giving any property or any blessing, but what the Buddha gave is 3 trainees. Okay, so can you next slide, please? Next slide. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, the Buddha gave 3 trainees for what? For the liberation from all kinds of miseries. So from the liberation from being encaged in the suffering. So that is the purpose of the Buddha's teaching. So to gain this purpose, the Buddha explained that the Buddha provide 3 trainees: morality, concentration, and wisdom. So please, next slide. So then, so I will talk about the leading role of the morality. So there I mentioned there 3 things. It is a quotation from the Venerable Siwalas, from the Thera Gatha. So morality is a foundation for the absorption and the noble path and fruition. Without that foundation, without the foundation of the morality, there will be no absorption, jhana, no mega phala. And then, as a result, there will be no liberation. So also another simile is that the morality is a mother. Everyone, we have a mother. So the mother of what? Concentration meditation and insight meditation. So without keeping our morality pure, concentration will not be possible. Without the concentration, deeper and sharper concentration, insight, knowledge cannot be expected. So also another simile is morality is a door. So the door of what? The door of a joy. So if we consider our morality pure, then we feel a kind of a satisfaction. That satisfaction makes us joyful, and then delightful, and then sukha, happiness is there. Then it will be followed by the concentration. So next slide, please. So in this way, morality serves as the leading role of the all wholesome mentalities. Next slide. You skip one more. Please, one slide back. One slide back. So here, because I purposely skip the role of the concentration because we need to emphasize. So without the morality, there will be no concentration. Without concentration, there will be no wisdom. So the stage of the wisdom is here like a stairway. So it starts from the analytical knowledge of the mentality and materiality, and also it go to the realization of the, I cannot see. So up to that level, okay, that is called Pinga Jnana, Bhaya Jnana, Arinava Nivida Mositu, and also Patisankha Jnana, Nuloma Jnana, and also Godarabu Jnana. And then please next slide. Then after that it will be followed by the path knowledge and fruition knowledge. So path knowledge eradicate all mental defilements. So one stage after another, as you all know, so I will not go into detail. And also the fruition knowledge, the knowledge associated with the fruition or the path is, it completely subside mental defilements in 4 stages. So next slide, please. That is the role of the wisdom. Okay, next slide. Please, again. So then we need to emphasize about the level of concentration. So as we all know, the concentration is a samadhi. Samadhi has a 3 level in my understanding of the Abhidhamma test. That belong to Theravada Buddhism. So if we study the first book of the Abhidhamma, that is Dhamma Sangha, so after that studying there, you can see samadhi has 3 levels. One is one-pointedness of the mind. Okay, one-pointedness of the mind. It is called citta sekagata. When it arises, this is mental concomitant. When it arises together with the unwholesome mentalities or any other mentalities, it remains as a one-pointedness. It cannot be God. It is not described as a samadhi. Then, in the next level, that is concentration. So, if it go to the working group of the jhana, absorption stage, then it is a time to become a part of the jhana fetters. So, part of the jhana fetters. This is also collective effort of the Vidaka, Vijara, Bidi, Sukha, Ekagata. So they are also Ekagata remain the same, but so in the definition they are provided. It is called samadhi. Okay, samadhi is there. So when we go further, when we make it deeper and sharper level, in incorporation with the Eightfold Noble Path, as an Eightfold Noble Path, that the Samadhi Ekagata become a Samma Samadhi, praiseworthy concentration. So in the commentaries, it is explained as a Samma is explained as a praiseworthy concentration, not the right concentration. Sometimes it may be right, but it may not be good for us. But the Buddha used the word Samma as a praiseworthy concentration. So that the concentration cannot happen alone. If it remains alone, it will not be a Samma Samadhi, because it works together with the other 7 component parts. It functions well as a superior concentration. So that is a level of concentration. So then please the next slide. Next slide. Okay, central rule of the concentration. So this is very common to you. Sila Samadhi Banya. Morality, okay, concentration and wisdom, they work together. And then I already explained you about the role of the morality. It is a starting role. It plays the leading role. And then concentration plays the central role. It support our morality pure. So if we are practicing concentration, meditation, taking some object or one object, either it is an object or characteristics, the other day we are very calm and peaceful. There will be no violation of the physical and verbal activities. So that's why, in this way, concentration, training of a concentration, maintain the purity of the morality. And also, another way is the training of the concentration strengthen our wisdom and also direct our minds toward the deeper understanding of the reality. So in this way, so among these 3 trainees, concentration plays very central role. Why it is supporting morality pure, it also direct our mind to be very wise. Okay, so please next slide. So the way to develop a superior concentration. Okay, here I purposely choose Anapanasati Samadhi Sutta. Okay, there are many ways to develop a concentration and also to make it our concentration to the deepest level, highest level. Here I put it the stages. First one is breathe. Everyone is a breathing beings. So that's the one purpose I choose. And also another purpose is that in the breathing meditation, so there will be, it is a combination. Breathing meditation or breathing object is a focal point of the 3 formations, sankhara. Kaya sankhara, bodily formation, vaji sankhara, verbal formation, and also citta sankhara, mental formation. These 3 formations come together in the anapanasati, meditation or in-breath and out-breath. That's why I choose this one. So it is explained in the Anapanasati Samadhi Sutta. So please step like this, breath. Firstly, we have to keep be mindful on the in-breath and out-breath, and also it will be, after some time, you will find it calmness of our in-breath and out-breath. Here, bodily formation means in-breath and out-breath. And also then, we will feel that the happiness, pity, joy, and so on. And then that is about the mentality, citta sankhara is there. Then we have to dive deeper. So, and then calmness of the mentality, and also finally the conditions of the mentality. So in this way, we will see things as they really are. So then, in this way, our concentration became a very, very superior. So with this, I would like to I would like to encourage everyone to practice or to undertake anapanasati meditation to sharpen, to make a deeper concentration and also sharper wisdom until we attain the Nibbana. So thank you so much for listening. Next slide, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Venerable Professor Dr. Kanamukha, for your resourceful and knowledgeable paper. Now, time for question and answer. May we have only two, please? Anyone like to ask for question? Come up to the microphone, one on the left, one on the right. Indicating your name and your country, and shortly go to the point. Not long question, please. Technician man, help. This one not working yet.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. With the grace of the Dalai Lama and the blessing of the Buddha, it's a great honor to be here in the International Sangha Union. To briefly introduce myself, I'm Triko Ogun Lodre. I'm 15. I'm from Bhutan, and Bhutan. Just to introduce, Bhutan is a place blessed by Guru Padma Sambhava. There are many pilgrim sites there. If anyone here is interested, any great masters that would that wish to spread the.
Just 1 second. Yes. Can you mention who own those 4 speakers you want to ask for?
It's anyone who has the answers.
Anyone, okay.
Okay. The question is, throughout this session and the past few past days, I was wondering, since there wasn't much discussion on Vajrayana Buddhism compared to the others, so I was wondering if there was a reason on why. That's the question.
Venerable, you like to answer? I couldn't get the question too. Not very clear.
Sorry.
Can you speak, yes, to the point and clearer, please?
The question was why there was not much discussion on the Vajrayana Buddhism. I was wondering why.
Yeah, I don't know who will you like to answer. The question is why the Vajrayana meditation is not discussed at this conference. Yes, go ahead, please. Geshima.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Your question was why there was no discussion of the Vajrayana, right?
Yes.
So my answer would be ask the organizer, and maybe just brief my own kind of personal thinking. Vajrayana is a secret mantra, a secret teaching. So it's more like a personal, or more in a selected people could study and practice. So maybe that's a reason, my guess, okay? So you should get the answer from the organizer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
The Venerable on the right, please indicate your name, your country, and the question toward anyone here, please. Thank you. Technician man, please.
Getrivadi tanda Professor Lini Gala Shiri Nivasaka Tero Kongcholai. Ane Kongitagi Seri Tone ane Kom Yamlin Javi Kabla Lebe Chashi Gitodan Korla Son Nge Taran Tola and Trivachi. Ane Tadangazo ki Kong Son Kom Javi Kabla Occipital Lob Lega Chigre Son. Ngazo ongu nga ki ane 통솔당 토소로게 레슌드스 내가 집에 갑라 콘솔라 내가 제게 슈겐기 다트기 지고라 다딘데 존이 신이 콘솔 레바게 내가 지기 여러봐 대상 땅아서 신이 저저 곰티베 갑라 콘솔기 따단다 옥시피돌 로 내가 지기 여바이나 콘솔라 내가 제게 슈겐기 다트기데 간데스 다트기 여레스 혀 직제 이바디 가서 다 희는라지 곰 대비 갑도라 아니 당부 통마 세컨 카시 지르나 믹바디 아니 셈디 믹바디 강라 세직도 네 대바 용거로 발다 디네 세컨 카시 두두 삼발라 양 희니게 게기소 징화당 보바 딘디 온도 송디거데 곰짝에 가사거나 다 믹발라 세직도 네요 삼삼라지 딘디 세기 되게도와 지상 덴디기 안에 신이게 개기 증거기 오늘의 손에 심잉의 갑도들라 욕보 공부보라 욕보 학고야기 덴데 탑시 가려요레스 효야직 덴이 이바티 안에 심세직도 네베 갑라 레베기 차시기 내가 지게 양심디 믹발레 요네 지금와당 고바 가론도 도테베 갑라 양 레바가 차시 민다와기 덴데게 내가 지게 So,
Venerable asked 3 questions, but I will just point out one, because since we need to wrap up. So basically, the question was when we delve inside, of course, when our the 5 senses are being utilized, there is the message being transmitted through the occipital lobe. Is that what you mentioned? So when you are actually delving inside, when you are in a meditative state, how is the message being transmitted? That was the question.
Thank you for asking that question. When we meditate, we are in the one object position. We take one object, closing the all message from the sense organs. Just think about the Anapanasati. We take inhale breath and exhale breath as a meditative object. So at that time, our mind is moving to the one object position. At that time, we don't take any sensual objects from outside. Sometimes the messages are coming, past messages, whatever we have seen, whatever we have heard, whatever we have tasted, all these past experiences are coming into the mind. But while we are meditating, we recognize them and we neglect them. Just we come into the main object. When we meditate in this manner, just concentration is there in the mind. So when we get that concentration, just we feel our body is very peaceful, calm, and stable, not moving, not shaking our body. At that time, we feel the samadhi position. So, as you ask, the sense organs are not working much, but some past experiences are coming into the mind. At that time, we neglect them, we come into the main object.
Thank you. Thank you, Venerable Lenagala, sorry. So, I think because many of the monks, many of the Sangha members take only 1 meal a day. So I think it's very important we now proceed to the lunch. So for that reason, we would conclude here and then proceed to the next program, which is to distribute the certificate of appreciation.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I would like to request, Venerable, you want to wrap up? Or?
May I have 15 seconds?
Sure.
Yes. Venerable Sirs, unfortunately, the world is in the scary situation. In the past 4 years or so, for example, among our Sangha alone, not talking about the whole world, worldwide, we lost thousands of ordained bhikkhu and bhikkhuni due to COVID. And one very sad news arrived to us, at least, is our acting Sangha. He had just passed away the last 4 weeks, exactly today. And he's one of the best scholars on Tripitaka and many other issues among us, the Vietnamese Sangha. And this is one of among many, many other senior Sangha, I guess, who had been lost in the past 3-4 years, particularly fewer in this year, but still the effect of the world problem still affect on us. And I'd like to take this opportunity to appeal for us to try to develop and build up our brotherhoods between and sisterhood as well between all Oden Sangha by hopefully organizing more and more this sort of seminar conferences. Then can be closer, discussion the matter we all concern, and we may like to learn and share each other about what we have learned in our special tradition or nation. Thank you very much. This is just another general appeal to the organizer or who are out there who could do more and more for the Sangha sisterhood and brotherhood. Thank you.
Thank you, Most Venerable Thi Quang Ba. Now may I request Kyabje Kundini Rinpoche, our guest of honor, to present the certificate of appreciation to our wonderful speakers and the chairperson. So first, Most Venerable Thi Quang Ba, our chairperson for the session. Next, Venerable Professor Lenagala Srinivasatero. Next, Venerable Geshe-ma Tenzin Lhajun. After that, we have Venerable Pramaha Kunpon Klai Suwan, Samachito. And next we have Venerable Professor Dr. Chantamuka. Professor Chantamuka. So this concludes the Samadhi session. And so may I now request the speakers to take a photo session together. So this concludes the morning session, and the afternoon session would be exploring the depths of Pana or Prajna, an examination of Annata or Shunyata in the Pali canons and the Prajna Paramita Sutras and its practical implications in today's world. So I would like to request all of you to be back here. We will start actually at 1